I hate it so much, you guys. Hey friends. Hey, today we've got a little IKEA haul. If you can't tell, like maybe yes, maybe no, we're still in the process of painting these walls. I'm in my son's room right now. Probably an echo, because even though this is the smallest room, we have basically no furniture and we're waiting till the walls are painted to put it in. I got a little order from IKEA today. Super excited about it, except for one thing that is a huge disappointment and way different than it looked on the website. I'm gonna show you all that first because you all should know. These are the Lenda curtains. They are a very light, dusty, almost lilac tinted pink. On the website, these were like a happy, cute pink that was gonna go super well in my daughter's rainbow themed bedroom. And the downside of COVID is that you can't actually go and look at stuff in the store and like try things on or like check and see if that would work for you. So every computer screen is different. Even the way you're seeing them on the screen right now is probably slightly different how they are in real life. By the way, I should have done like a white balance before I started this video and I totally forgot. Yay me for not filming for a very long time. Okay, now with IKEA curtains, the huge advantage is that they're affordable and they come up to, let's see what it is, 250 centimeters, right, if you're in Europe, and 98 inches. Most curtains do not come that long. And it is wonderful if you want that beautiful flowy look, if you want your room to look larger. Pretty much every designer for like the last few years has been like screaming on the internet, like, buy long curtains. Hang your curtains like 2 inches from the ceiling. Really, really long curtains are great. These are 98 inches. My rooms are only 8 feet high. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to wash these first to shrink them, which I recommend anyways if you have kids, because as soon as your kids, oh, this color is so ugly. I'm so disappointed. It was supposed to be this like cute, vibrant, like girly pink, and it is this dusty rose color. You guys, if I had to choose between like poop brown and dusty rose, I'm picking the poop brown. Like that's how much I hate dusty rose colors. I just really hate them. I might try and get one of those like fabric dyes from Walmart. Has anyone tried that before for curtains? Do you think that would work well? Because I don't just dislike this color, like I passionately hate it. And it's making me very angry the longer I look at them. So let's put these ones down and get a different pair. I also got, that I'm going to love much more, the Lenda white curtains. Everyone and their dog recommends the Ritva ones, which are slightly more expensive in Canada. Oh, by the way, I'm not gonna pronounce anything correctly in this video. I am not Swedish. I am American, sort of Canadian by birth, by like luck basically. And so no Swedish capabilities here. But the Ritva ones, you've seen them like everywhere online. They are gorgeous, and I understand they look like linen, but they're much cheaper and they're not actually linen, so you're paying quite a bit less. They're really durable. They're also constantly out of stock. They have been out of stock online, at least in my area, for like at least the last 6 weeks, because I've been desperately trying to buy some. So I got the Lenda ones instead, and we're gonna do a little DIY hack where we're going to make them look much more expensive, and we're going to get rid of this little like loopy thing they've got going on at the top.
After washing the curtains, we're going to take these little loops at the top and we are just going to cut them right off at the roots, being very careful not to cut the actual top of the fabric that we want to keep looking real nice there. Ideally, sharp scissors would be good, but I mean, we just moved, so this is literally the only pair of scissors we have. This is what it looks like. See how close I was able to get in there? You can try and get in a little bit closer. You can be a little less perfect if you're going to flip them over more, but I'll show you in the next part.
So you're gonna just flip them over here. That's the hack, to make them the length that you need them so that they're not too long on the ground and they're just right. And then you just clip them on with the little rings you can buy at IKEA. The person that I saw do this hack on Pinterest used 6. I tried 6, I tried 7, and I think they just look so much better with at least 8, but maybe even more, I don't know. Honestly, guys, I spent like 4 hours ironing these, and basically as soon as I hung them up, they were wrinkled. I don't like the way they look at all when they're like out like this. I'm having lots of regrets about this purchase. But if I pull it over sideways here, and we were to have like some beautiful sort of bamboo blinds or something in here, then I think it could look really pretty. But just like in and of itself, if anyone has any tips to make it like stay ironed, because like I spent 4 hours ironing these, and as soon as I hung them up, they just got covered in wrinkles, and I'm so bugged. And I read that in one of the French comments on IKEA's website, but there was only one comment that said that, so I was like, maybe this person got a bad batch or they were exaggerating, but no. I'm going to give these curtains a solid 5 out of 10. They cover the windows, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan. I'm just gonna sew them. I'm not gonna keep this hack up forever. That was just like a temporary thing. I will sew them to make them the right length because honestly, I just think that looks a little stupid, but it's working now while I don't have a sewing machine. And I know you can get that like that glue tape thing or whatever that you iron on from IKEA to make them the right length. I might do that too, I don't know yet. But here's how they look on the other side of the wall, you guys, it's bad. Because I was only expecting to use 6 rings on each side, I didn't buy enough rings to do like 8 on each of them. And they hang weird and they wrinkle and it looks like I just clipped up some white sheets because of how badly they wrinkle. I mean, oh, it's given us privacy for now, but I'm 100% going to replace these. I'm going to put them in a different style, in a different room. I'm gonna style them a different way. Not a huge fan of this at all, but I can't take them off there yet because we don't have any curtains to replace them and that would be pretty bad. Okay, but something I do really love from this haul is definitely the curtain rods. I think they were pretty easy to install. They look really nice, especially from a distance. You can get them thinner or thicker and I just love them. But these curtains, y'all, oh man, that looks so cheap. It looks so bad. Oh, I'm so sad I got these. But if anyone has any tips, again, for ironing them in a way that will make them not instantly start wrinkling up again as soon as I hang them, like, I would love you forever. Please share those tips. Okay, but hopefully you can see here, when they're pulled to the side, they actually do kind of look nice. It's just like when they're the only window treatments you've got, they just aren't my favorite. This lighting makes them look not so bad. But let me tell you, off camera, those are wrinkly and it's not doing it for me. And I really hate the hack. I wish I had just hemmed them properly. Cutting off the tabs on the top was great. It's getting closer to the image I want. I do like having these rings on top. I just would like to have quite a few more rings. I think it looks a little bit classier when there's more like little waves.
All of these curtains, the Lenda ones, they also come with like tie backs, but I just hate curtain tie backs. I'm gonna keep them because maybe in a few years I'll like something different. That happens a lot. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll be like, oh gosh, I hate that style. And then 5 years later, I'm like, it's so pretty and it's all over my walls. So these are an off-white, which I'd read about in the reviews, so I was well aware of, and that's what I wanted. I wanted that like off-white, like maybe it's a linen mix kind of a thing. And they have these, they're actually quite nice. These little loops they have at the top, like they're beautiful and they're well done. It gives a very farmhouse look, but we didn't want to go for farmhouse. And by we, I mean like I really like farmhouse, but my husband like passionately hates it. So we're gonna go for something a little bit more in between. And I'm gonna be getting rid of these girls, getting rid of the loops. I wonder if the height, like the 98 inches, that's like counting the loops or that's like not counting the loops, like the rest of it. I moved here from France like a year ago, so I do not have a sewing machine to hem these by any means. And we're in lockdown in Ontario right now, which you can imagine is super fun, and that means I'm not gonna be able to borrow a sewing machine from anyone either. So my hope is that this hack that I'd read about online to make them like shorter and make them look more expensive without sewing will work. Fingers crossed. But we need to wash all of these. And you also need to wash your curtains if you have kids because they're gonna get dirty anyways, and maybe you'll have them like hemmed or like sewed to like the perfect length, exactly where you like them. And then you're gonna wash them for the first time because your kid got Nutella all over them and they're gonna shrink like 4 or 5 inches and you're gonna be like, crap. So it's better to pre-shrink them before you do any sort of hemming, especially if there's cotton material inside the curtains. On the IKEA website, I believe they said these will shrink up to 4%. And I do want them to shrink actually just because they're slightly too long for my walls, but the next lowest size was like way too short for my walls and not at all the look I was going for. Always better to have a little extra material and then hem it than to have not enough, right? Dang nabbit, this is even in the return of the camera, like it looks better. In real life, this looks like these curtains are just so incredibly old and they need to be thrown out. Like they look like they've been washed. It's not like a beautiful, like new clean dusty pink. You kind of look at them and you assume they're dirty, kind of a pink. I hate it so much, you guys. So I did get 3 of these, like, well, I'm gonna hide my address there. These Lenda ones, I'm hoping to use them in the living room or possibly the fireplace room. We don't know what we're gonna do with the fireplace room yet. Maybe a library, maybe an office, we will see. Okay, these are the Sanella, and I saw this woman's like bedroom on Pinterest and I was like, oh my gosh, that is like my dream bedroom. It is so beautiful. And she had these velvet curtains in a dark gray color and I clicked on them and they were $300 a panel. And I was like, well, that's not how much I would ever spend on curtains. And it was $300 American. I live in Canada right now, just for reference. These Sanella ones, I think they were slightly less than $80 for 2 panels, which according to someone like me is a lot of money for curtains. But I guess for people that are like actually in the curtain industry, that's a steal. Oh, I'm being called, how fun. Where's my phone? My son is at preschool for the first time since this whole like pandemic thing started, and it's only his second day, and so I was super nervous, thought that might be them. It is not. It's just the IKEA people. They wanted me to answer a survey about how awesome the delivery was. Listen, this time around delivery was 10 out of 10. The last time I ordered IKEA, we ordered IKEA because it was during the first lockdown, and like literally everything but Amazon and IKEA was closed. IKEA said they would deliver my stuff within like 2 weeks. We didn't even have a bed or a mattress. Like the kids were literally sleeping on the floor in the winter in Canada. And so we were like desperate. And so we ordered off of IKEA, and it was an absolute nightmare. And we got our stuff, I think like 6 weeks after they promised it was they would be like delivered. And I had to call and spend at least 4 hours on the phone trying to get this delivery. So this time, 10 out of 10. They definitely improved from last year. Last year, I have nothing but negative things to say. This year, only positive. So we'll see. I was telling you about my fancy schmancy Sanilla curtains. So for a fraction of the price of that like $300 a panel velvet dark gray curtains that I saw in the other house, these ones look like they're gonna be beautiful. They look nice and heavy, they look nice and thick, but above all, they are 98 inches, which is great. Anything over 90 inches I would have been satisfied with, and I am just thrilled that I could get the look for much cheaper, literally hundreds of dollars cheaper, and I get basically the same curtains, so I'm thrilled. Yes, oh. I always feel like velvet feels a little bit more like expensive and luxurious, but I only want it to be on things that I can wash easily, like curtains. I don't want to get like, well, I do want to get a velvet couch, but not while I have small children, if that makes sense. Not while they're in there like,
oh, I don't mind if my hands still have the orange sticky stuff on them after eating Cheetos.
At a stage of life, I prefer to wait a bit. I'm getting my fancy schmancy velvet curtains for my room. It's my little present to myself. Happy Valentine's Day, me. This is the Scub. You guys have probably seen these. So many people have them in their closets. It's just a hang down thing. My daughter, we're not sure if we're going to be getting her a dresser or not yet. We're going to use their old dresser that when they shared a room, she shared a dresser with her brother, and we're probably going to put that in her brother's room, Isaac's room.
And there are clothes all over her closet floor already. I was not aware. Oops.
But for my daughter, she's going to have drawers underneath her bed, and my goal is to use the drawers underneath her bed and to use her closet. Hard time opening this. Ugh. Wow, yeah, these are relatively cheap. They're pretty sturdy. What's also awesome that I did not know about this and that I did not buy this time around, but maybe in a future order, is you can also get like drawers that go in here, like little Scub drawers, and so you can have like extra storage like with inside this. It's not, you don't have to have just like a big gaping open box. You can have like a drawer so it's like kind of hides what's in there and looks a little bit cleaner in your closet, which will probably eventually, no, probably not. She's like 5, so if I do the drawer system, she's just gonna shove all her clothes quickly in the ones that don't have drawers anyways. Maybe when she's older. Of course, we got curtain rods because we got tons of curtains and we're in a new house and we're in need of some like modern curtain rods. The ones they had here were fine, they did the job, but they were very like clunky and silver, and I'm just not really into that look right now. So we actually kept them. We put those in the garage. And of course we got like all of these like little hooks to hook it onto the wall. Make sure if you've never bought curtains before, because I'm a young adult who also, as of last year, had like pretty much never purchased a curtain rod before. And I didn't realize that if the curtain is too wide, you need to have like extra support like in the middle and stuff like that. Seems like common sense. Common sense is not so common as they say. Our windows at that old apartment seemed pretty small, but it was still like the curtains were just too heavy and it was weighing it down. Make sure you measure. There's lots of good guides online. And then these ones, they're looking pretty sturdy. I'm pretty excited about these. What are they called? The Betty DeLig. Betty DeLig. Betty is such a cute first name. There was a girl in high school I knew who's Betty, and she was like so cute. I don't think she liked me like at all as a person. Like I don't blame her, but her name is great, okay? She has the best first name. Now this is like the secret sauce that I'm gonna be using for my DIY to make the curtains both shorter and a little classier looking. It's these little circle hoop things. Searlig. I am so sure that that is not how that's pronounced. If by chance you're Swedish and you're watching this, let me know. I freaking love the look that these little rings have, especially like for me, I'm going to be having like majoritarily white curtains in some spaces, and this like darkens it up a little, and so it's not like white on white on white or just like too much white. I'm hoping it'll add a nice little touch. Maybe slightly farmhouse. We won't tell my husband, we'll tell him it's modern contemporary. And then these lovely, slightly round, but slightly squared off and like symmetrical raffig that goes on the end of those poles I just showed you. I love them so much. This is gonna be so cute. I'm excited for these curtains. And then the big one that we got, and I'll show you as soon as it's set up, is the Hemness day bed. This bed looks so cool. My daughter has been asking for a day bed for like 2 years now. She loves them so much. A day bed, if you don't know, it's basically like a bed that you can quickly like transform and make it look like a couch. Like it can be a couch or a bed. It can kind of be 2 in 1. She wanted one. There's a lot of cheap ones on Amazon that were only like $200, but they looked super not sturdy. The Hemness one was twice the price, but not only does it function as a bed and as a couch, but also you can like pull it out, and when she's older, we can just get a second twin mattress, put them together, and it turns into a double bed like that super easily. So I'm hoping this bed is going to last her until she's like 40. That's my goal. And also there's storage, and I am a huge fan of like extra storage and pockets and drawers and things inside furniture. I think it's such a great way to save space. It's gonna be lovely. I'm so excited.